If I want to add some content or if I want to have some new features to the existing data, and I'm going to use this append. If I want to perform any of the operation, it could be input stream, output stream, like that. If I want to perform both together, that is FStream. How can I open the file? What are the methods that I have? So I have two types of file opening method. If I want to perform both the operation in a same thing, at that time I have to use a class name called FStream. Hello everybody, welcome to second session on data file handling. Myself Rohini TS, Computer Science Lecturer, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So before getting to today's session, I would like to have a recap of previous sessions. So what are the things that I have discussed in the previous session? So there I discussed about files. So what do you mean by file? And what are the types of file that we have? Then I have discussed something related to FStream.h header file. After that, I had a discussion regarding what are the classes that I require for file stream operations. So if you recall the definition of a file, that is nothing but what? It is a collection or stream of bytes. So it will going to have a collection of the related data together. Okay, so coming to the FStream.h, so you have to recall that what is stream? That is nothing but what? It is a flow of data from one direction to another direction. So what are the types of streams that we have? There I have discussed three streams, that is input stream, output stream, along with a error stream. So when it comes to the input stream, so what I'm supposed to do? When it comes to the input stream, at that time the data will be transferred from input unit or input devices or any other disk, so which is going to store the data. So that will be transferred, or the data will be moved from input unit to C++ program. So that direction or that flow of data, I can call that as a input stream. So when it comes to the output stream, at the time what we are going to do? So the data will be moved from the C++ program to any other output devices. It could be what? Printer, plotter, or any other output devices. So that is related to output stream. When it comes to the error stream, that is mainly used to display the error, so that if the user get to know the types of error, then they are going to rectify in order to run the program without errors. So that is regarding what? Types of stream. So when it comes to the FStream.h, so file will going to handle both input and output stream. When I want to perform both the functions together, at the time there must be a header file called FStream.h. That is the purpose of using this FStream.h. Then what are the classes that I have for the file stream operations? So I have given one tabulation form, so you have to go in that. At last, I have discussed types of data files. So how many types of data files we have? We have two types, that is text file and binary file. When it comes to the text file, the values or the characters, everything will be stored in the ASCII format, and we require delimiters or we require end of the line specifiers. So when it comes to the binary files, at that time the data or information, everything will be stored in zeros and ones. So no translation is required and no delimiters are required. So these are the things that I have discussed in the previous session. So now we'll see what are the things that I am going to discuss in today's session. So in this session, I am going to discuss some of the concept of file modes. So we know what you mean by file and what are the streams, how the operations will going to perform. So after that, I am going to discuss what are the file modes we have. In order to perform any input or output operations, or if I want to perform any read or write operation to the file and from the file, then I must require this file modes. Okay, I'm going to discuss that one. Then how to open and close a file. So how to open and close a file. So there we have several types. I'm going to discuss one by one. So let me get into today's session. In this file modes, so you know what do you mean by file modes? In the sense, when I'm using the files, then it must be in which mode? It must be in which mode? Whether it is in what? Append mode, opening mode or closing mode. So how it will be? So that is nothing but what? file modes. So when it comes to the file modes, at the time when I'm opening a file, so we are going to have, or it will going to provide different modes. It will going to provide different modes of files. So based on my requirement, I have to choose a mode of a file. Then what will be the syntax for this file mode? So here you can see that here stream object dot open file name comma mode. If I want to perform or if I want to open the file with particular mode, then I am supposed to specify the file name along with the mode. Getting? So here stream object, you know that we, how many streams we have? 2 streams. Mainly we focused on 2 stream, that is input stream and output stream. So input stream is nothing but, so how many types of stream we have? 2 types. Mainly we are going to concentrate only on the 2 types, that is input stream and output stream. So you all know that how to access the member function of a class, right? You know how to access the member function of a class. I must specify the object name and then dot operator must be used, that is direct member access specifier, right? Then I'm supposed to take the member function name. So then what are the parameters or argument I'm sending in order to specify the mode is, I'm going to take first parameter as a file name. I'm supposed to specify that which file I want to have in a particular mode. So that the first argument must be the file name, and coming to the mode I'm going to discuss now. Okay, so this is syntax along with the example. If it is input stream, then I'm going to have what? Input object or input stream object. If it is output stream, then I'm going to create one object for the output stream. Okay, so let me have this tabulation form. In this, I am specifying the types of file modes. So what are all the modes that we have in the file modes? Based on my requirement, I have to choose one of the mode of a file. So here it is important for 2 marks and 3 mark question. Okay, so this could be asked for 2 marks or 3 marks question, like specify or list the types of file modes. So at that time you have to write all the 3 columns. So in first column I am going to specify the mode method and meaning of that particular method, and then whether it is belongs to OF stream or IF stream. That means what? Whether it is belongs to input stream or output stream. So let me see one by one here. So before getting into this, you must realize or you must recall that how to access the member function outside the class definition. So in classes and object chapter, I have discussed how to access or how to define the member function outside the class. At that time, what should I do? I have to take the class name along with the scope resolution operator. Then I must specify the member function name, isn't it? So that scope resolution operator will going to tell us this member function belongs to a particular class. So keep it in mind and look at all these methods. So what are all the methods that I have here? So coming to the first method, here I have IOS, scope resolution operator, and APP. So then what is this IOS means? It is a class name. What is the name of a class here? IOS, that is input output stream. Okay, so in all the things we are going to get all the class name as a IOS because we are performing input output stream operation. Okay, from that class only I am going to define the member function. So for that class I am defining the member function. It is outside the class definition. So that I am going to use this scope resolution operator. I am going to use this scope resolution operator in order to specify or in order to define the member function outside the class definition. Getting? So here all we have after the scope resolution is a method. So prior to that scope resolution operator is a class name. So in all the methods I am taking the class name as IOS, that is input output stream. Then whatever I am specifying after the scope resolution, that is a method or a function, and each function will going to perform a particular task. After that we have to check it out whether it belongs to input stream or a output stream. Okay, so let me get into this first one, APP. So what is this APP function will going to do? So it will going to append to the end of a file at the opening time. Consider I have a file. So what I have a file. At the time I want to append or I want to add some new content to the existing file. At the time, what must be the method I must take? I have to go with a method called app. So when I am using this method for a particular file, at that time it will going to append to the end of a file at the opening time. So when I am opening this file, at that time the pointer will be point to the end of a file. So from here I can append or I can add extra content to the existing file data. Then it belongs to which stream of data? So that is OF stream. So it belongs to output file stream. Okay, let me get into the next one. That is iOS scope resolution in. So as the name indicates, IN is nothing but what? Open a file for reading. So open a file for reading. That is mainly for the input purpose. Open a file for reading, whether it is belongs to IF or OF, it is belongs to IF. That is input file stream. So in the same way, it has one more, that is iOS scope resolution out. So what does this out represent? That is open a file for output purpose or for writing purpose. So if it is out in the sense, then it belongs to which stream? OF stream. You can see that it belongs to OF stream. So what is the next method that I have? iOS scope resolution ATE. So what is this ATE represents? Open a file for updating and move the file pointer to the end of a file. So move the file pointer to the end of a file. So by making use of this ATE method, I am going to open a file for updating. Updating in the sense what? I have to include some more content to the existing content and it will move the file pointer to the end of a file. So let me consider this as a file. Okay. So here I have several lines of code. Consider this as a file. Here I have several lines of data and information, but I want to update the data at this position. So what I am using? I am using this ATE member function or a method. So I want to update the file in this particular position. So when it help me to update the contents, after that file pointer will be moved to the end of a file. So file pointer will going to move to the end of a file. So if you want to update, at the time what I am doing? If I want to add some content or if I want to have some new features to the existing data, and I am going to use this append. So that append will going to point me to the end of a file, right? So but I want to append the data or I want to add new content of data to the existing file in between somewhere. At that time, I have to go with this ATE. Once it is updation, it's done. At that time, the pointer will be moved to the end of a file. Then it belongs to which stream? It belongs to IF stream. It belongs to IF stream. Getting? So next, iOS scope resolution trunk. So what is this truncation? We are going to leave, right? So trunk in the sense what? On opening, delete the contents of a file. So file mode, I need to open or I need to close the file or I need to update something. But when I'm using this trunk function, at that time when I'm opening the file, whatever the content is there in that file must get erased. So it must be like what? New file or a blank file. Getting? So when I'm using this trunk member function or a method, so on opening it will going to delete all the content of a file. Then which stream it belongs to? It belongs to OF stream. Getting? So that is related to what? Truncation or a trunk member function. So iOS no create. So what is this no create? So let me see, turn down opening if the file does not exist. So what it will going to do? So don't open the file if the file does not exist. So I can open the file only when it is exist, right? So if the file is not exist, then I am saying don't open that file. Getting? So that is nothing but what? No create. So turn down opening if the file does not exist. So it will going to check if the name of that, I am going to specify the name of a file along with a mode, right? So when my mode or file of mode is of no create, then it will going to check for the particular name of a file. So if the file does not exist, at the time what it is saying? Don't open that file if it is not exist. So then it belongs to which stream? That is OF stream. It belongs to OF stream. So coming to the next one, no replace. So no replace. As the name indicates, no replace. What it is? So turn down opening if the file already exists. So what I am doing? So when I'm specifying this no replace, at the time it will saying that don't open the file if the file is already opened. If the file is already opened, I have already opened that particular name of a file and I'm trying to open twice and I'm trying to open in the next tab. At the time what it's saying, turn on opening if the file already exists. If the file already exists, that means if the file is already opened, then it is saying that no replace. So whatever the file that I have opened or whatever the file which I have used earlier, then keep as it is. Okay, that's what they meant in the no replace. So what it will saying that turn down opening if the file is already exists. Then it belongs to which stream? OF stream. So what we have at last member function? So that is nothing but what? IOS binary. So you all know that in text file we have two files or two types of files. So text files as well as the binary file. What if I want to open this binary file? At that time I must use a member function called IOS scope resolution binary. So it will going to open a binary file. In order to perform any of the operation, it will going to open a binary file. Then it belongs to what? IF stream. Getting? It belongs to IF stream. So these are the important points that you have to remember in each method. So in this you have to concentrate that each class name and then what are the member function name along with the meaning. That means what is the purpose of that member function. Under that you have to specify whether it belongs to OF stream or IF stream. So this is important for 2 and 3 mark question. Let me have some example for this file modes. If you see here what I am specifying, you have to recall that syntax. So I need to take the class name and I must create one object name. Then I must specify the name of a file and then mode. So this mode specifies that what is this? IOS scope resolution out. So what it indicates? Open a file for writing. So what I am doing here? I am opening this text file for writing purpose. In the same way, I have one more operation, that is FStream, F-I-N. So that means what? This is a file stream. So it could be either file input or output stream. So if I want to perform together, then I have to go with this FStream. And I am creating one object. The name is Fin. So I have specified a name of a file and then mode IOS, so in. So what is that in function? That is nothing but what? Open a file for reading. So I am opening this file for reading purpose. So if I want to have more than one member function in a same file, or if I want to add more than one performance to the same file, at that time the member function must be separated by this OR operator. I must use this OR operator that will going to segregate or that will going to have the content of both the member functions. So here I have taken append as well as the no create. So both the operation will be going to happen with this data file name. So the name of a file name is here data. So on this data file it will going to have both append as well as no create member function. So these are the some of the example which is related to the file modes. I hope you all understood with file modes. So let me move on to the next topic, that is opening and closing of a file. If I want to perform any of the operation, it could be input stream, output stream, like that. If I want to perform both together, that is FStream. At that time what I am supposed to do, I have to open a file and I have to perform some of the operation. Once I am done with that operation, I must close the file, right? So for that I am going to have a concept called opening and closing of the files. So a file must be opened. So what I'm supposed to do, I have to open the file. So before I'm going to perform any of the operation, the file must be opened. Okay. So at that time what I can do, I can read the data from that file or I can write the data to that file. So that is what they are saying here. So then how can I open the file? What are the methods that I have? So I have two types of file opening method. So I can open or I can open a file by making use of the constructor concept. File open by making use of the constructor concept, or I can open a file by making use of this open member function. So what are the two ways in which I can open a file? We have two methods. I can open a file by making use of the constructor. That means the name of that function must has the same name as of the class. You just remember all the concept which is related to constructor. Getting? After that, what is one more method that I have? So I can open a file by making use of this open member function. Getting? Each function will going to serve a particular purpose. So based on that, I can open the file by making use of constructor, either open member function. So when I want to open a single file, when the number of files is less, at that time I have to go with a concept called constructor. Getting? So when I need to open a file, that means when I want to open a single file or a less number of file, at the time I must go with a constructor concept. But what if I want to open multiple files? That means what if I want to open more than one number of files? At that time I must go with a function called open. Getting? So let me see one by one right now. So coming to this opening of a file using constructor. So already you know that what you mean by constructor and what are the types of constructor and what are the rules we are supposed to follow when I'm writing the constructor function. Okay, so with regards to that, here I am opening a file by making use of the constructor. Then what you are supposed to understand here, so whatever the stream that I am taking, so if I am working with input stream, then what must be the class name? Then IF stream, that specifies input file stream. But if I am working with output stream, then it must be OF stream. Getting? So if I want to perform both the operation in the same thing, at that time I have to use a class name called FStream. That is what combination of both input as well as the output. Getting? So just recall all those things and let me move on to this opening of a file using a constructor. So here what are all the things you have to concentrate? Syntax is important along with its one example. Okay. So here we can see that. So in order to access a file, so it has to be open either in read mode or write mode or append mode. We already know the types of file modes, right? So in, out and APP, that is nothing but what? Append mode. So when I want to open a file or when I want to access the content of a file, at that time it must be open. It must be open either in input form, that is nothing but what? Read, or it must be in the write form or append mode. Getting? So with the help of that, I can open a file by making use of this constructor. So what is the syntax here? Stream class name. So what I am specifying? I am specifying the stream class name, whether it is input stream or an output stream, or together I can call that as a F stream. Okay. So I need to create one object. So when the constructor will be called, when creating an object for a particular class, at that time constructor will be invoked automatically. So that what I am supposed to do, I have to take the file object name. So here file object name. So that is the second thing. So within that parenthesis, within the argument, what I am sending? I am sending the name of a file. So within that, I am sending the name of a file. So whatever the name which I am going to specify as a parameter or as an argument, that file will be opened. So just recall, so stream class name is nothing but I am going to specify whether it is input, output or a file stream, and I am supposed to create one object for that stream, that is stream object. Then I have to specify the name, then which type of constructor it is. I am going to sending some parameter so that I can call this as a parameterized constructor. Getting? So that and all the things you have to remember here. After that, here you can see that when I want to open a file for an output purpose only, then output in the sense where it belongs to which stream it belongs to. You are right, that is nothing but OF stream. If I am opening the file for output purpose only, at the time the class belongs to which stream? That is OF stream. If I am using the file opening concept only for the input purpose, then I have to use IFstream. If I am using both input and output operation, or if I am using both input and output stream together, at the time I have to use a FStream. So here what I am doing, I am opening a file, that too for output purpose. If it is output, then that belongs to which object or a which stream? That is belongs to what? OF stream. So here you can see that I am opening a file for the output purpose only. So if it is output, then it must be belongs to OF stream class. Getting? And I am supposed to create one object for that OF stream. So what is the syntax? How I am opening the file with the output purpose? So we can see here OF stream. That is nothing but what? I am specifying the output stream. So I have to create one object for that OF stream, right? So that is OF stream object. So before that, you just remember one example. So here I have a class called student. I have a class called student. Can I call this student as a class? No. Why? Because I have not specified the keyword called class. So if I need to specify this student as a class, then it must have the keyword called class and opening and closing flower braces. Is it right? Did I left anything? Yes. That is nothing but what? Semicolon. So without semicolon, this is considered as a simple statement, set of statements. So this opening and closing of the flower brace with semicolon specifies that end of a class. So what if I want to create an object for this class? So how I am going to create? So I need to specify the class name along with the object name, isn't it? So if I want to create an object for this class, what I am going to do? So student is a class name here, and I have an object called S1. So what is the name of an object? S1. Then when I am creating this object S1, with the help of this object, I can invoke the constructor. But the name of a constructor must be same as the name of a class. Okay. So with the help of that, I can open the file by making use of constructor. That too for output purpose only. So you can see here, OF stream is a class name here, and F out is the name of an object. So what is the name of an object? That is F out. So what I am sending within that parenthesis, that is nothing but parameter. So there I am supposed to specify the file name. Then what is the file name here? Result.dat. So that is a data file, result.dat. So I am opening a file name called result.dat, that too for the output purpose by making use of this constructor concept. I am opening a file called result.dat, that too for output purpose only. How can I get to know this is for output purpose? Because here I have specified OF stream. Getting? So in the same way, I can open the file for input purpose only. If it is for input purpose, then what must be the class name? It must be the IFstream class. So if I am opening the file for input purpose only, then it must be belongs to what? IFstream class. Getting? And with the help of this constructor, I am going to create one object. When I am creating that object, the constructor will be called automatically. So within that, I am going to send some parameter. That parameter is nothing but name of a file. Getting? So here, instead of O, so in previous I have taken OF stream, that is output file stream. But if I am using this for input purpose, instead of O, I am going to take I. Getting? Then everything will be same. IFstream object. So IFstream is a class and I am creating an object. So within that, what I am sending? I am sending file name as a parameter. Okay. So then I can open that file for input purpose only with the help of this constructor concept. Getting? So here I need to specify the file name as an argument or a parameter, then semicolon. If I consider one example, here I have a IFstream. IFstream is a class and I am creating one object, FIN. So ma'am, can we use any other name? Can we use our name as an object? Yes, you can. But that must follows the identifier rule. Okay, so that must follows identifier rule. When you are creating a variable or when you are using any of the variable name, it must satisfy the identifier rules. So regarding that, here I am going to create one object, IFstream ABC. I can also use ABC, right? I can give any name for the object. It is not only restricted to F out or F in. We can give any name, but must satisfy the identifier rules. So within that, I am going to specify name of a file. So what I am specifying here, I am going to specify the name of a file at the end, semicolon. So this is regarding how to open a file for input purpose only and with the help of constructor. So this is one methodology. How can I open a file by making use of constructor? What is the next method that I have? That is nothing but what? Open member function. So as I discussed earlier, if I want to open a single file, at that time I have to go with the concept of opening a file with constructor. But what if I want to open a multiple files or a more than one file? At the time I have to go with a concept called open member function. Getting? So here you can see that opening a file using open member function. So why I require this open member function? When I want to open a multiple files that use the same stream object. For example, I have input stream, that is IF stream, and I have output stream, that is OF stream. Let me take one example. I have 5 files in input stream. I have 8 files in output stream. Okay, so just remember, I have 5 files which is related to input stream and 8 files which is related to output stream. I want to open all the files together. I want to open all the files together but separately as a stream. So input stream, that is 5 files, and output stream 8 files. I want to open all the 8 files at a time. That means what I am doing? I am opening more than one file at a time which belongs to the same stream. But in the same way, I want to open all the 5 files which belongs to the input stream. So that means I am opening more than one file, that is multiple file. So at that time, I can use this open member function. Getting? So what is the syntax for that? So let me see here. File stream class. So what I am supposed to take? I have to create one object for a particular class. Right? Let me take one example before to this one. Here, class employee. So let me take this as EMP. So I am creating one class called EMP. So in this, each class has both data members and member function, right? So how can I access the member function? What is the syntax? I have to take the object name and I must use the dot operator, then the name of a function. And if there any parameter or argument which is reside in each member function, then I need to specify, right? If not, then I can go with what? Default member function only. Getting? So here I have a class called EMP, and under the scope of this public, I am going to create one member function, that is void display. I am going to take one member function called void display, and let me take this as several lines. So let me take this as ABC. Okay, and then I am going to close the class. So after that, once I am done with the scope of this class, I have to create an object in order to access the member function. What is the member function here? Display. If I want to access the member function display, then I have to create one object for the class called EMP. Is it? So that I am going to create EMP-E. So what is the object name here? EMP-E. EMP is nothing but class name, and E is the name of an object which belongs to that class. So how can I access this member function? So I am going to take the object name, then dot operator. That dot will going to access, or it will going to fetch the member function of that class. Okay. So what is the member function that I have? Display, right? So I am going to use display member function. Right? So in the main function, I am going to create one object. So with the help of that object, I am calling this display member function. You know this concept. In the same way, I am going to create an object for the particular stream, that is OF stream or a IF stream. With the help of that class stream object, I am going to call a member function called open. So I am going to call a member function called open. Within that parenthesis or within this, I am going to specify the argument or a parameter. Getting? So here file stream class. So here I have to specify whether it is input stream or a output stream or a file stream. Getting? Then stream object. I have to take one object for that stream. So here I'm done with creation of an object. Now I need to access this member function called open, right? So stream object. So just recall this one. So what is this? Object name, and I have a dot operator. I'm specifying the member function. In the same way here, stream object dot open. Name of a member function is nothing but what? Open. I'm specifying the file name. So this is how the syntax must be. Then what if I want to open a file for output purpose only with the help of this open member function? So now we'll see. Here I have a syntax in order to open a file, that too for output purpose only. Just recall the previous one. So there also I have used output purpose only, but with the help of constructor. Here I am not using constructor. Instead of that, I am calling one member function open. With the help of stream object, I am going to call this member function called open. So it belongs to which stream? OF stream. If it is output purpose, then it belongs to OF stream. Okay. Here I have a object. Object belongs to which class stream? That is OF stream object, and dot. This will going to help me to fetch, or it will going to help me to access the member function called open. So within that I am going to specify the file name. So what it will going to do? Whatever the file name I am going to specify as an argument to the open member function, that will be opened. So that will be opened only for the output purpose with the help of this open member function. Getting? So here you can see one example. Here I have a OF stream. What is this OF stream? That is a class name, and I am creating an object called out file. So this is nothing but what? Object name. Then how can I access the members of this OF stream? So just remember one thing, open belongs to F stream. So we can use this open member function either for input file stream as well as for the output file stream. So that OF stream is a class name, out file is the object name. So with the help of this object name, I am calling a member function open. Getting? So out file dot open, I am specifying the name of a file, that is data. So out file dot open text dot dat. So here one more function or one more file I am opening. So what is the usage of this open member function? That to open multiple files, right? So that is what they are specifying here. So in the same way, if I want to open the file for input purpose only by making use of the open. So here I have to opening a file. I am opening a file for input purpose, then it must be belongs to IF stream class, right? So it must be belongs to IF stream. Here I have to take the IF stream object, and with the help of that object, I am going to access this open member function. So that here you can see that IF stream is a class name and I file is a object name. So that is the object name. With the help of this I file object, I am opening or I am accessing the member function open. So within this argument, I am going to specify the file name. So these are the important things. How to open a file? By making use of the constructor as well as by making use of open member function. Okay, so in constructor I can open a file for either input purpose or output purpose. If it is input, then it must be IF stream. If it is output, then it must be OF stream. In the same way, I can open a file for what? Input and output purpose, for both purpose, with the help of member function called open member function. If it is input, here also I am going to create an object for the IF stream class, and if it is for output purpose, then also I am going to create an object for output stream class. So with the help of that object, I am going to access the member function called open. Within that, I am going to specify the name of a file. So that name, whatever the content that you are going to send in a parameter, so that will be opened. Getting? So these are the things you have to remember. Okay, if I want to open both, or if I want to serve a purpose for both input stream as well as for the output stream, then what I am supposed to take? Which class I must go with? Then I have to go with a class called FStream. So that FStream is nothing but what? So that is combination of both input stream and output stream. So it is nothing but what? Input stream, input file stream. So here you can see that input file stream, and OF is nothing but output file stream. So together I can call that as FStream. Okay, so I don't know for which purpose I am using, whether I have to take input or I have to take output. So at that time, what I am going to do? I am going to take the class as a FStream. and I'm going to create an object for that one. Within that, I'm going to specify the name, file name. After that, I can also take the mode. Already we had a discussion regarding this mode, file mode. We have to open the file or we need to close the file. If must be a truncation or no replace, no create. So those are all the modes that I can specify. Getting? So this is how syntax. In order to open a file of an object of the stream, FStream, that is nothing but both input and output. So am I using any open member function here? No. If not, then which type of opening it is? By making use of this constructor. So what must be the constructor name here? FStream, because the class name is FStream. So then which type of constructor it is? Parameterized constructor. How many parameters I am sending? 2 parameter. First one is a file name and second one is a mode. Getting? This is how I can open a file of a FStream class with the help of this constructor. Getting? So now I'm done with opening of a file. There we have 2 methods. What? Opening of a file with open member function as well as by making use of the constructor, and we know the streams and how to access the constructor and what are the parameters should include and how can I use the member function open with the help of stream object and what must be the parameter and all. So I'm done with opening. I'm going to perform some of the operation, right? So at last what I'm supposed to do? I need to close the file. So what is this closing here? The member function close. What I'm going to use? For open, I'm going to use a member function called open, or else I can also take the constructor concept. But when I want to close the file, at the time I have to use a member function called close. Getting? So what is the member function that I'm using in order to close a file? That is close. So what it will going to do? It will going to remove the linkage between file and the stream object. I'm going to create an object. I'm going to create a stream object for a particular stream, right? So if it is input stream, then IF stream, and I'm going to create one object. And if it is output stream, then I'm going to create one object for the output stream. If it is for both, then I'm going to create an object for F stream. Right? So, if I want to close the file, at that time what I am going to do? I am going to disconnect the link between the stream object along with the file. Getting? So, here I have a file. So, in order to access this file, I am going to create one object. Okay? So, this object will going to have a reference. But when I am closing a file, that reference will going to remove. So that means what? It will going to divide, or it will going to remove a link between this object, stream object, as well as with a file. Then how to use that one? Here I need to specify the stream object and I must use or I must access that member function called close. Am I supposed to specify any of the parameter? No. Here I am going to take an object of a particular stream, then I am going to call this member function, that is a close. Getting? So if you see the example here, what I am specifying, ofstream.close. So ofstream is a class. So for that I need to create an object, then with the help of that stream object I can call a member function called close. But here what I am specifying, ofstream.close. So then whatever the files which is resides in the ofstream, everything will get delinked, or everything will be removes the linkage between the object of that ofstream along with the file. Getting? So in the other way I can also create ofstream. I am creating one object called fout. I am creating an object called fout. So fout dot close. In this way also I can call this member function close. So this is for output stream purpose. So in the same way I can also close the file for input stream. So ifstream dot close. I can also create one object for ifstream, and with the help of that object I can call a member function called close. Getting? So let me have that one, ifstream. So what I have a class called ifstream. So what I'm creating an object called fin. So with the help of this fin object, I am calling a member function called close. So what it will going to do? So here what I am doing, I am creating an object for the IFstream, that is for input file stream. So with the help of this stream object, I am removing the link between the file as well as this stream. So if the name of a file is data, then with the help of this fin object, I am going to delete that link between data file and this IFstream class. Okay, so this is how I am supposed to close the file. Getting? So this is how I am going to close the file. Okay, so if you get back to this today's class, what and all the things that I have discussed in today's session. So in this session, I have discussed some of the file modes. So for this, you have to remember this tabulation form. After that, one example. Then I have discussed how to open a file, if it is constructor or a open member function. Getting? So after that, by making use of the constructor, I can open a file in input mode or for output stream only or for both. For all the things, you have to follow the syntax and remember one example. And I can also open the file by making use of this open member function. Even here also, it could be either for input purpose only or for output purpose only. Getting? After that, once I am done with all these opening of a operation, then I have to close a file. So that means I am going to cut down the link between the stream class along with the file. So it's all about today's session. I am going to discuss the further concepts of data file handling in the coming sessions. So until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you very much.